Let's get started. Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video, we're going to be breaking down Final Fantasy XIV's patch 4.3 trailer. Now, we're going to be using the US trailer here, but that really doesn't matter because we're not actually going to be listening to any part of the trailer. There's one part of the trailer specifically that I'm going to need to play a voice for in order to make my point. However, other than that, we're going to just let the music, the nice calm music that's playing right now, be the background for this. We're going to be taking a look at weapons, locations, monsters, and speculating on story stuff a lot. So if you're not up to date on the story and you don't want to be spoiled or speculating or any of that stuff, I'd recommend you click away now. By the way, the dinosaur onesie is because of a Twitch event that is going on right now with me for my 4-year anniversary, and so I'm sorry I look this way. But anyway, let's start the trailer up, and we are actually going to be starting it at, I guess we could start it at 75% speed, and if we need to slow it down more, then we will. So let's get started. All right, yeah, teen, we know that. So teens are people who are aged between the age of 13 and 19. So at the beginning of the trailer here, sorry, the air just kicked on too. At the beginning of the trailer here, we have what looks to be flashbacks for Yatsuyu, along with audio that otherwise, here, I'll have to pause here, other audio that would otherwise suggest that her memories are starting to become a little bit more clear and that some really bad stuff is about to happen. There's a lot of theories going around that Yatsuyu will be used as the vessel for a primal. That's been further, I guess, not really evidenced, but further speculated on because they revealed at E3 whatever trial this is will be the trial at E3. But in the description, it specifically says the primal. So people think that the mirror that Asahi gave her, as well as her theme of the moon under the moonlight being name of the patch, is that she's going to transform potentially into the moon god Tsukuyomi. Yes, I know Tsukuyomi is a male. Shiva is a woman, so no one cares about the gender affiliation when it comes to these gods. This is actually a screenshot of Pagos right here, the next Eureka expedition. It was really weird for them to put that right after Yatsuyu has her little moment here where she's kind of coming to terms a little bit. I was like, I guess it's because Pagos has a very nice looking moon. So yeah, Pagos is a very nice looking moon. So we have Asahi here. We have, I think that's supposed to be going back here. If I'm not mistaken, I need to check a part later in the patch, but I think I'm 99% sure I know who that is. But I'll double check a little bit later into the trailer itself. We have Asahi looking as evil as ever. We have the moonlight right here. Again, the most major theme that's going to be played on right here. Her tears are falling. Look at the water. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Look at the water. It's so highly rendered. All right, playing it in 75% speed may not have been the best idea. So you can see Garleans. I mean, this is going to be a big thing. Garleans are probably going to be pretty prevalent, especially if we end up going to Ilsabard in 5.0. So seeing a lot more of them, seeing a lot more of their tech is going to, I feel like they're going to be coming a lot back into the spotlight with this one. But this is no doubt just playing before the events of the eventual hostage exchange that we're expecting to have to deal with, and that we are sure is going to go very, very wrong in 4.3. You know, we have this. So, okay, I'm going to ask my Twitch chat real quick here just to make 100% certain. So we're standing at a stone right here. I'm assuming it's a grave, and I have to assume it's the grave of the previous king of Alamigo, but I don't know that for certain. I don't know where they are right now, and I have my Twitch chat here, so if they can help me out with this, it'd be more than welcome. But we have Alice, we have Lise, we have Thancred, and we have the Warrior of Light. So according to the chat, this is Xenos' grave, which I had forgotten was even here in the first place. So that's the grave of Xenos that we have right here. So we're going to keep going past that. They're just looking down at it. At this point, I have to wonder if they found out that Xenos is still alive and are looking at this grave like, what the hell happened here? It goes over to Hien real quick before cutting back to none other than Xenos himself. Although looking a little bit more dapper without all of his armor on, wearing what looks to be more traditional garb as opposed to what we're used to seeing Xenos in when he fights. I'd imagine he's still a murderous man that has nothing but poor intentions planned for us. As he looks so innocent. So this actually, the coloring of this area almost looks like a flashback, like an echo flashback. Not entirely. It kind of just also looks like it could be the color of the room. But, you know, I'm sure he's really looking forward to a rematch with us. So I'm curious to see what his role will be in this patch himself. I'm actually, as much as I don't like that he's alive again, or alive, we don't know exactly the extent of what's happened to him. But he's got, just looking into his eye, I'm glad to have him back because I didn't want him dead right away at the beginning of 4.0. I was very disappointed in that, although the whole revival thing, I don't know if I'm 100% behind it until we hear more about how he's actually come back to life in a sense. So now we start seeing previews of the Lighthouse at Ritterana. This is the new 24-man raid based off of the combination of Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy XII. The location itself is from Final Fantasy XII. The final dungeon before the, I guess what would be the actual final dungeon would be the Air Fortress Bahamut, but that was barely a dungeon. This was like a full-fledged, like, multi-floor dungeon with lots of different mechanics in it. So we're going to be going there for the Return to Ivalice raid. Here we have Belias, one of the 2 Espers that we actually get to see in the trailer. And he's got some Dark Ifrit Eggies. Now, what's very interesting here, if I remember correctly, Belias was actually, or it was like a Belias Eggie. Oh, it's been so long since I've done it. It was part of the A Realm Reborn Summoner questline, and everyone kept saying that it was a tease for the actual Belias popping up later. So having these Dark Ifrit Eggies here is probably a callback to that original A Realm Reborn Summoner questline. I'm someone who hasn't really kept up with the new Summoner questline, so I'm not sure if anything new has happened on that front. But we have Belias here, his Belias Eggies as well, which are basically just reskinned or recolored Ifrit Eggies in the first place. So, and I have my Twitch chat confirming for me here. By the way, I'd like to say that was a gridlocked dive bomb. Basically, he was on 2 corners and then dived directly across, which looks kind of weird because it almost looks like he makes a 90-degree turn if you don't stop it and see that there's actually 2 Beliases right there doing the dive bombs. So, boom, right there. And then on top of that, he's got some other stuff going on. He's got the room-wide AoE right there, which is probably his super attack that he's charging up for. Now, unfortunately, I have to say this quite clearly. I've seen a lot of people say that this was a new Soulstone, like, oh, they're teasing a new job here. If you've never played any of the Tactics or Final Fantasy XII games, this is what it's called, or if you just didn't pay attention to the Royal City of Rabanastre story, this is an aura site. This is specifically the aura site of the Lucavi Duma, which represents the zodiac sign, the Taurus, which is known to be housing the Esper Chaos. Now, Chaos, I have presumed, would be the final boss here, or the final boss at the end of the next raid tier. We can assume that this is Bagamnin's hand that is holding it, just like it was before, and that we are probably going to be fighting Chaos as the final boss inside the Ritterana Lighthouse. So that's what's happening there. You can see this is an Aura who looks to be an assistant here at the Prima Vista. Then we have a little bit more scenery. Now, this character, I didn't play Tactics all the way through. This is actually Worker or Construct 8 from Final Fantasy Tactics. Luckily, I let my Twitch chat let me know that in advance. And they were super excited to see him. I think they said it was an optional mission that led to Construct 8 being a boss. But I gotta admit, he looks cool. I was mega pumped when I saw like his animations and stuff like that. I thought that was cool as hell. We also have that screenshot right there. This is probably going more into the history of Ivalice itself. You can see you have a Banga on the right, and then you have, I don't recognize him, on the left, and then you have what's her name in the middle. Unfortunately, when it comes to Tactics lore, I don't know as much, because Tactics, by the time I played it, I unfortunately haven't played it at like War of the Lions or anything. So Ash and Razzler, there you go. Oh, was that Ash? I didn't even recognize her when she looks like that. I guess that's just the art, because I don't recognize Ashelia. You're right, though. That is definitely Rassler over on the left. Yeah, okay. I don't recognize them with that art. That's not how I would have imagined Ashelia being drawn. There you go. I was going to say, because if it was Tactics related, I didn't recognize them at all, because I have very little Tactics knowledge when it comes to that. We have some of Bagamnin's friends who have come seeking help for their lost ally over at the Ritterana Lighthouse. And then the Ritterana Lighthouse just looks dope. Look at all that. Then you have Famfrit. We know he's going to be the first boss. So we had Belias, who's probably going to be the second or third boss. We had Construct 8, who's going to either be the second or third boss. And we have Famfrit, who we know will be the first boss, because they also showed it to us in the live letter. The final boss we can assume is going to be Chaos, and that is a very, very unfortunate looking tidal wave that seems to be hitting half the arena for what looks to be consistent damage. So don't stand in the water. Normally the rule is don't stand in the fire. This time the rule is don't stand in the water. All right, we also have, all right, she's just fallen over. Now, what's interesting about this, so we can see Bagamnon's, you know, the fellow members of his little gang right here. But there's a new figure right there that also looks very, very familiar. That is no doubt Final Fantasy XIV's equivalent of Gabroth. So what he's actually doing here, I'm not 100% certain, but if there are other possibilities. It could just be Gabronth's armor, but because of something that happens later in the trailer, we need more details on that one. As for the person on the left, I can't really recognize them with all of this I guess color that's going on right here. Like it looks confusing to me right here to see all this. There's a Magitech bit there clearly, but it's somebody in armor, or it's somebody in like a traditional Garlean garb. It's just a soldier of some kind. I don't know if it's somebody of relevance. I don't know if does he have a gun on his back by any chance? No, because that might be someone who's also later in the trailer. But if anything, if it's not a soldier, it could be someone of slightly more import. Again, we'll show it a little bit later. Worker 8 and Construct 8. Dude, look at this. His animations are just so cool. Everyone's getting pulled into a black hole in the middle. I love that. I love that. That is, oh, well, that's Gabronth, so now we can see that. Let me go back to this. Rewind a little bit. I clicked an image in my chat, and I was like, oh, I wonder what this is, and it was just Gabronth zoomed in on. So this is previewing Pagos, the new Eureka thing, or the new Eureka Expedition Zone. You can see a face-off here against what we're all presuming is Gulluf at this point, if not potentially Enuo or this version of Exdeath or whoever it ends up being. A lot of us are fairly sure that it's something that's happened to Gulluf at this point, though. This is what I'm assuming is our icy equivalent of Pazuzu, so we're calling him Snoo Snoo or Snowzuzu, whichever you prefer, for the time being. And he's got he's just got hands and feet made of ice. That's it. That's it. And then we've got just more random enemy killing out there in the wild, and those things look like they don't deserve to be. These are snowy Corpicers, and they don't deserve problems. They just don't deserve that. They're looking out over the actual centerpiece of the Isle of Val itself, where we're assuming which was a prison for whatever it was the Dawn Warriors sealed away all that time ago, which again we're presuming could be Enuo or Exdeath or something. Then we have this. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this I initially figured that this was the 4-man dungeon right here. It goes so fast. There's so many flashing lights on the screen because I can see crabs right here, and then I can see more stuff, and then I can see Sun Wukong right there. I have to assume that's the Swallow's Compass, and then seeing that scene right there. Now, who is this? Let's slow down. That's, okay, I feel like I should know that character, but I really don't. So if anyone in the chat recognizes that guy, please let me know. But yeah, it looks like we have the Swallow's Compass here as the dungeon. You can see a few different scenarios. And finally, Sun Wukong. It's Rasho from it's Rasho from the Ruby Sea. He's one of the Ruby Sea Toll guys. There you go. That's why I'm glad I have the chat here. He's one of the leaders of the Confederacy. Or he is the leader of the Confederacy, pretty much, over in the Ruby Sea. There you go. See, this is what it's good to have Twitch chat for. And then we actually have Sun Wukong here, looking like he's going to be the final boss of the Swallow's Compass as well. So his pole, did his pole extend? Did his pole get long? Did it go from... No, it's just really long all the time. Maybe it'll extend when we're actually in the fight. We have a teaser for the 4 Lords right here. And it looks like, again, I still think it's basically Sotoban has been, I guess, consumed by his automatama. Whether or not intended by Genbu, he did say he had some unorthodox training methods in mind. And, yeah, Sotoban's not looking to have a good time. Then there's just that little quick snippet right here. I don't know if this is the Swallow's Compass as well, because it just got thrown in there at some random point. We also have, oh, I can't see who those are. I can't see who the person on the left is. I see the person on the right. I see an Al Ra on the right. And the person on the left. Is that an Al Ra on the right? Or is that... It's hard to make out precisely, but this is basically a Garlean I guess, a Garlean console, or at least Garlean display right here. We've seen displays like this in Alag as well. They just kind of use it as the general display. It reminds me of the Omega displays. Is that... oh, no, there's a big-ass tail. Yeah, that's definitely an Aura. All right, so there's an Aura on the right, and then there's somebody looking away from them on the left. I can't really make out who it is, so I might want to slow down a little bit to see how much more we can see. We also have to see what the following scene is. Oh, the following scene just goes straight up to Alphino. So he's inside a Garlean base, which we know. Okay, this is an Echo flashback. Where are the... Oh, so these are the Dawn Warriors again. So this is another Eureka flashback. Probably one of the final things that we're going to be seeing when we're going through Eureka Pagos in 4.36. Now, this, we know what this is. This is Heaven on High. This is one of the big floors in Heaven on High, which got me mega pumped. They are running around way too carelessly in there, and they should have absolutely stepped on some traps at this point. That is one of the, what is considered the large rooms that you can get inside of Heaven on High, and I am definitely looking forward to that. It's just nice to have like a kind of a scenery change up from the way the normal Palace of the Dead used to work. All right. We can assume that this is another room inside of Heaven on High as well, because again, it's followed by Heaven on High. And this is a completely different looking room as well. There's sunlight coming in from the outside, unless they've decided to just move in. Oh, no. You know what? You know how you know that's Heaven on High? Look between the gorilla's legs. That's not his penis. Where is it? There we go. You can see one of the minor auspices that increases, I think it's, Komenyu. I think that's Komenyu right there. No, that's Inugami. That's Inugami right there. Who provides an aura that decreases damage dealt. So because of the doggo, we know this is indeed a room from Heaven on High. So that's just, you could have probably presumed it, but it's nice to see the little outdoor kind of looking area. Then we get more scenes here. Yatsuyu, I don't know if bowing or just trying to fight off whatever the heck is happening right now as she stands in front of her brother. We can see she has a tomato, but she more importantly has the mirror that she was given in the last patch. So we can assume that whatever is happening to her, this is the major turning point in which Asahi's plan kind of comes to fruition. Then we have just a quick scene with Gosetsu. This is where things start to get a little bit... It's not a tomato. What is it? It's a persimmon. Someone says it's a persimmon. Whatever. Or someone says it's not a tomato. It's not a tomato. Someone says it's a persimmon. Somebody said, I don't know. She's got fruit. All right. There you go. She's got a persimmon with her. But then we go into this section right here. Okay. So this, I think that was what I needed confirmation wise. So it looks like we're going into Yatsuyu's visions in some way. I don't know if it's part of the trial fight itself or if it's a solo instance, because we only see the Warrior of Light in this next little scene, but we're basically fighting what would appear to be Yatsuyu's visions. That's her mother and father. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that's the same person, that's the same gentleman we saw right there. So I'd assume that this is just, a scene of Yatsuyu's father, and this is us fighting through her memories, and her father and mother having to be bad guys in there. Then we have Asahi whispering something to her. I think somebody said he whispers, "There will be a reckoning." We also just have a bunch of Garlean soldiers here. And also, who is that on the right? That samurai guy. Who is that? There's a machinist on the left. And I doubt... Who is that? It looks... I don't think that's an NPC. It's an Aura. And then on the left, you can see a machinist with the Gauss barrel on. Just throwing something up right there. That looks like a character movement. So this to me is starting to read like it's part of the trial itself. That's a Dark Knight stance. He has a katana, but he's in the Dark Knight stance, huh? The way they run in place, yeah, it does suggest it's a player. Specifically the way the machinist runs. Look, the machinist puts out a turret, and then it looks like they're trying to move, but haven't quite yet. So it might be that the person on the right is an NPC, and that the person... I don't know if Dark Knight has a sword that actually looks like that. But the person on the left, absolutely, the machinist at the very least, looks like it's probably a player. The katana is the tome weapon, so we can assume that for some reason they brought two samurais to... no. They brought Dark Knight Samurai, Machinist. So now I'm almost 100% convinced this is part of the trial in some way. So if that's the new tome sword for Dark Knight, this is definitely something that's happening inside of the new trial. So because it's Yatsuyu's visions... again, the theory that Yatsuyu becomes a primal is becoming even more prevalent the more that we actually watch this this trailer itself. Those are Garleans. Those might be, I guess, again, if we're digging into her memories, they're just Garlean soldiers that are part of her past. And then we have this vision of Xenos himself without his helmet on. That is most likely not the actual Xenos, and instead a vision that we're having of him. Or a vision that she's having of him that we have to fight off. We also fight Asahi here in her memories. You can see that as well. And then, oh damn, Warrior Light's pissed. He is not having it right now. Okay, does anyone know who that is? I don't recognize. Obviously, he's in Alamegan armor, and we're inside the Garlean base over on the western side of the world, most likely. But is anyone? That's. Oh no, that's not. All right, I saw somebody. I'm seeing somebody suggest something about something that it's Xenos in disguise, which I guess with the helmet on wouldn't be too unrealistic. Could be a traitor. Somebody says Xenos. We got some guesses here. Xenos in disguise. We have. I don't know. He looks kind of small. He looks. Yeah. He's. I don't. That's an Elysian. That's not Xenos in disguise. That's somebody else. This guy. I don't think it's Estinian dressed as I don't think it's Estinian in disguise either. It's clearly an Elysian. With a samurai sword. Some people in the chat are guessing it could be Estinian in disguise, but I don't think he'd give up his spear so easily just to be in disguise like that. So it's some sort of Elysian. Let's go back to the close-up of his face right here. All right. It's harsh font. No, it's not harsh font. All right, let's see. Let's get... Oh, no, that was a good one. I had it. Could be a random soldier, but if it's a random soldier, it's someone of major importance, because that's the kind of face that we're looking at right here. It's definitely not Minfili in disguise. Regardless, we have somebody here who's brandishing a samurai weapon. We've got a few other guesses coming into the chat. Amric, I don't know who it is at this point. So yeah, it's I don't know who it is, but it's somebody. It's somebody. Some people are saying Amric. I don't know. I don't know who it is. Regardless, he's here and he's ready to fight. Then we have a big old explosion scene here. Looks like we have... Who is that Garlean? Is that Gaius that we're standing next? Oh, that's Gaius right there. You think I'm kidding, but he's standing next to Alphino, so Gaius turns good guy confirmed. No, I don't know. He's standing next to somebody in Garlean garb. Yeah. He's got a holstered gunblade, and yeah. We're good to go with that one. My chat's letting me know that I should be using certain buttons to actually progress certain frames here so we can actually get some solid stuff. Never use these things. Especially because I end up with situations like that. I don't want to see your face. I'm pressing play. I'm pressing play. He just holds the gun to somebody's face. Could be yours. Could be the Warrior of Light. Could be somebody else that's happening right there. And yeah, and then we go back to the visions that are happening in Yatsu's brain. Again, probably part of the primal fight, because we're actually seeing Gesetsu versus Xenos right here. We have to assume this is some sort of phase where if I don't know if it's what she hoped would happen. I don't know if what she's something she's seen. Maybe the first battle between them when he failed to protect when the previous Lord of Doma fell. It's, you know, probably, it's hard to tell just because we still don't have enough information about what's actually happening outside of this in the trial. Dude's got glasses. And then we just get a few quick, I guess, snippets going through here. You can see this. What the heck is going... Oh, I think this is Heaven on High, and they're using a Magicite, I think, right now to do a primal summoning. That's what's happening right here. I don't know. That's just a Black Mage skill. What am I talking about? That's triple cast. Shows you how much I play Black Mage. That's triple cast. Ignore me. And then we have another Heaven on High. I'd assume that's Heaven on High. That's a big old boy. Now that was probably one of the bosses in the 4-man dungeon in the Swallow's Compass. That's definitely Pagos, and that thing is creepy as hell. That's using the model from Void Ark for Cahulan. Then we have this. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if this is in Heaven. I don't know what's going on here. All I know is Dark Knight using their LB3. So I don't. Maybe it's something again in the trial, or I don't know. But it's just chilling. Could be Pagos. Could be. I don't know why they're using the LB3 and they're not fighting the thing. You're just losing downtime right here. So you're just completely wasting my time. All right, and then Gosetsu. Then, again, back to that memory. They really want to make us think Gosetsu dies here, because he slashes them, and I have to assume that's what happens if you fail that instance, or if you fail whatever that check is right there. Chat's suggesting that Xenos is your past, Gosetsu is your future, and that her memories are kind of fighting between the two. Or this is something else that's happening. I think that's more likely to be close to the truth, what people are suggesting right now. And then we get the actual art popping up right here. Okay, maybe I should speed it up now, because there is one point we need to actually play the voice line for. So let's speed it up to normal. And then I'll wait. When the screen goes black, actually, I'm gonna... Okay, so now there's one audio line we have to listen to right here. I'm gonna play it. And then I'm going to just, you know, whatever.
Oh, dear.
If that's not Balthier, then what the hell? A lot of people have suggested, and I initially thought when I heard the Japanese voice acting, that that might be Gaius's new voice, because they won't show us this person's face. And also, it doesn't sound like it's Gideon Emery necessarily doing his voice, but that's Balthier's voice. Originally, when we didn't hear the English voice acting, I said that it might be Gaius without his helmet. And the main reason why I said that is because immediately following this, I guess, teaser right here, it goes into this, which is Ifrit, Garuda, and Titan. And then it's basically Ultima Weapon, Ultimate. So, that was the only thing that kept me guessing that it was Gaius. But when you hear that kind of, oh dear, like, it's just... I can't accept that it would be anybody else except Balthier, personally speaking. Like, just listen.
Oh dear.
You know what's possible? They're double baiting us. That's Balthier's voice, that's Gaius Van Belsar, and they're making us think it's the same person. You know, it's just, I don't know. There's something going on here. There's something fishy going on here. It's a mishmash of things happening that is not 100% clear, but... It's just that oh dear, that can't belong to Gaius. And I'm not going to accept the chat theory that Gaius is actually Gaius Van Balthier and not Gaius Van Belsar. I refuse to accept that as an actual reality. And yeah, I don't know. Everyone's saying that's literally Gaius's weapon. You know what? It's one of the two. All right. That oh dear, without a doubt, belongs to Balthier, though. I refuse to accept anything else. But people are saying it could be Gaius without his helmet. Maybe they recast voice actors. I don't know. One of the two. Can we... Hashtag Gaius lives in the comment section. Hashtag it's Balthier in the comment section, depending on which one you want to vote for. You go for whatever you want. I'm going to wait to find out when the patch actually drops itself. Anyway... That's going to be it for our breakdown, our very sketchy breakdown of it, because I couldn't really get every thought all together. And luckily, we had the Twitch chat to correct me on a few things right here. But pick one of your things. Somebody's saying Balthier is Gaius' younger brother and took Airsbane. Whatever. There's something fishy's going on here, and we're going to get to the bottom of it when the patch actually hits in a couple of weeks. May 22nd is going to be the day for patch 4.3. Join 10 million adventurers worldwide. Try the free trial at FinalFantasy14.com. And of course, oh dear. So we'll see what actually ends up happening with that. But let me know what some of your thoughts are in the comment section of the video below for YouTube, Twitch chat. I'm sure I will hear tons of things from you today regarding what happened in this trailer, what happened in the live letter, all that good stuff. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen on YouTube, I will see you in the next video. I need to get something to drink. I need to get something to eat. Twitch, I'm going to go do those things. And then we'll play some Maple Story 2. Yeah, those of you on YouTube are just like, what? All right, YouTube. I'll see you guys next time. Twitch chat, let's hang out. Until next time, take care.